So tonight's Dharma talk is bowing to life. And the bow or the gassho, when we bow, when we enter into a space or when we exit into a space as a boy going in and out of a judo dojo, we'd bow before we came in and bow when we'd leave. And the bow in Japanese is a gassho. And the gassho is really an expression of something that's happening inside your body. Oh, there he is. That's happening inside your body that you respond to. And there's a distinct difference that I remember as a boy growing up in judo when I would go into tournaments and we would fight or compete on the mat. And our sensei would always tell us to listen to your body and listen to your hara when you enter the competition and when you bow to your opponent and bow to the referee. And when you're bowing, it's a way of saying thank you. In its simplest form, it's to say thank you. But then when you really bring out, for me, the essence of, it's not a thank you from up here, it's a thank you from your hara. And there's a distinct difference when you can see, and especially when you're at a judo match, when an opponent comes out and is going to fight me, and they're standing on the other side of the mat, and they walk up and they go, and they just and they bow to the referee. And then they see me take this bow that is like, thank you. And I don't say it, but I'm bowing with intention to both people. I slow everything down, just like we did when we started and ended. I was so giddy inside to feel the bow, knowing that I had a sense of talking about this tonight. And to bow together, I don't know if you were aware of the feeling, the difference than just bowing as a casual thing versus bringing an intention and bowing from the inside of the body, and for myself that I'm listening to my body before I actually bow. And I'm not just going, oh, it's over and it's time to bow. So the upright posture of a bow and the hand position coming together like this, I did a workshop on the bow before, and I used a samurai sword and held a samurai sword up as the example of the upright posture and cutting through the moment with utmost clarity and sincerity as you take a bow. And it's a great representation, are the samurai swords, of that type of putting my hands together, even if it's with a striker or a samurai sword, and then bowing with that intention of holding a sword. If you've ever held a sword, it has an energy to it. Like your white ones, right? I mean, they have an energy to them. All mine in here have that type of energy when you hold the sword. So, when you come in and you bow into this space and doing it with a reverence that I specifically felt you to bow with that type of reverence when you walked in. Do you remember it? Right? It's an actual visceral experience to feel that. And then when you leave, it's with the same integrity and intention to say thank you for this space. When I step and I bow to the altar to say thank you, and I light an incense, and then I come over here and I bow to my pillow where I'm going to sit and meet myself, I do it with that same reverence. And so by doing this practice of this form that looks like a simple bow, that it brings an integrity to you in training throughout your day to approach everything you're doing with that type of internal listening and following that forward. When I think about Michael with the bees, and going to work on a hive, for me, going into that kind of thing, if you're just going through the motions and you don't have a relationship with the bees, you get a different type of experience, I believe. And I've dealt with some of them, but not at the level that you're doing. But that makes sense. When you bring that integrity to the hive, you're actually treating it with respect. You're not just trying to whack it and get rid of it, you know? And so the bow or the gassho, when you walk into your house from one experience to the next, maybe you were out doing gardening or you were out working on a hive and you're coming home, that you can enter into your space with that reverence. And it doesn't always mean that you have to have your hands up into a gassho or a posture like this. I mean, again, in Japan, this is a very common thing for a bow walking down the street, to just acknowledge who you're walking by, and you'll see this happening a lot. It's almost like a head bob when the busy streets are happening. And so, you know, to be able to do that, of just to, you know, even to not even bow, to just give it the reverence before you cross a threshold, before you cross into that next thing you're doing. If you're doing gardening and you're working on a tree, that you approach it like it's a relationship. Lorenzo always talks about me and Amber talking to trees and talking to the plants before we actually work on them. And there's a relationship with them that is actually, I can feel it. And when I approach it with that reverence, I feel it even more. I know what branches to cut. I know, you know, what's a healthy one and what's not a healthy one. And so there's that quality of the gassho that we're practicing in here, not just moving through the process, but yet moving with the utmost integrity, sincerity, and deep listening. And it's like, you're not bowing, you're being bowed. To think about that. You're actually, that your being is bowing, not just you're just bowing. And so when you bow, listen to that calling for the bow, and how we can all do it in unison, how you can do it when you enter in a space, whether it's your own home or a dojo or a church, that you can always have that reverence. And man, when you meet the courtesy clerk at the register, and you treat them with that bow, you know, and you don't even do this, but you treat them that way, the same way we're treating this space, it changes everything. And so we're training at that reverence, integrity, and deep listening, and the bow is a great representation of that. To bow with the utmost integrity and sincerity to anything that you do and who you are being, and then being bowed, being the thing that you're working on. You know, from the Rotary Club, going up the stairs when I go up the Rotary Club. I actually go like this when I go up the Rotary. I like acknowledge that I'm going into that space of the Rotary Club and being in relationship. Me and Steve were talking about the depth of relationships that we have in there, and I can feel a difference when I bring that type of, you know, hey, I'm going to really connect and be in relationship with people in there. So my encouragement tonight is the gassho or the bow, and to listen and be bowed, or be the bow on everything you do. So it's not a small task, it's not a small ask, and it's a lovely thing to start to play with and listen deeply to every part of your life from that place of your hara. And we talk a lot about it in the seated meditation on a daily basis. I bow when no one's around and it's just me ringing this bell, the same reverence that I do with all of you. And so I want to encourage you to do the same thing when you go out, or when you're with somebody that you deeply care about and you want to be connected to them, is do an internal bow and show up from that place the same way you're showing up for yourself tonight. It's special to show up for somebody like that, and it's a muscle that you can develop and refine, so it becomes the baseline of how you operate through the world, very present and aware. And the gassho is the foundation of it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this space, and thank you for this time. And I'm here to listen and respond, not react. So the gassho and bowing to life. It's a practice, daily life practice. So thank you for being here. Thank you for bowing together and continuing the practice of being bowed. Yeah, it's a neat way to say it. And my mind laughs a little bit inside when it's like, what are you talking, being bowed? But I get it viscerally, I can feel it. And when we started, I was like, oh, there it is. Or when I saw you two walk in, I was like, there it is. I can feel it. I can feel you. Like my presence got drawn to the door when you came in. There was a moment. So I acknowledge it and honor it. And that's how we start, and that's how we end and move on to our next sitting with the same integrity, upright posture, and to be bowed. Okay?
I think the reverence of the bow is very important too. You know, like you say, some people go,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And I go to the Catholic Church.
Yes.
And, you know, when you go into the pews, you're supposed to kneel.
Ah, yes.
And you see people like, you know, they don't even
Yep.
give it an attempt.
Yep.
Well, I go all the way down and touch my knee to the floor.
I got goosebumps right now.
You know.
Yeah.
And when I leave,
Yep.
I do the same thing.
Yep.
But
Speaking.
it just makes me feel better inside.
Yes.
That I'm giving it all that I have at that point in time.
I can feel that. I got goosebumps. My heart is cracked open. That's exactly what we're talking about.
And this is, I think, a continuance of that too.
Yes, exactly.
Intertwine,
Yes.
to tell you the truth and what you're doing at the time.
Yeah, so the reverence that you bring, yes.
Exactly.
When you were competing and you went forward and you didn't bow yet, he bowed first, something like that, right? You're competitor. And you did that real quick, like, but more or less, he's not really concentrating on that, he's concentrating on beating you. And then you did it real slow with reverence, and you're slowing the whole situation down, where you're kind of controlling the thoughts right there. You're slowing it down, so he's not, you have the advantage there.
I don't know if an advantage or not, but I'm not following his lead. I'm not following. It's like when you come into a church and people are doing their normal thing. I mean, even the this one, right? What's the name for that? Is there a name for that? It's like the Hail Mary. Yeah.
Son,
Holy Spirit. Yeah, it's like doing it with that reverence instead of just, you know, it's like, now hold on a sec, you know.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you remember when I talked about the bow in Japan and the Japanese culture, the lower the bow, the more that reverence and integrity and thanks. So like when you say, I make sure I go to my knee, I mean, to say thank you to Jesus, to be in relationship with God is such a special thing. And to really honor that knee touching that floor and say, yes, my relationship with Him is real and it matters. It's a beautiful place to be in any spiritual practice. So,
Any spiritual practice.
Yeah. Oh, this is across. That's why I said I can feel you when you just talked about it, and my body responded to it. And that tells me it's in integrity with what I'm teaching when I can feel it. So, thank you. Yeah. Okay. The bow and the gassho. All right. Everybody good with how they're sitting now? Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and move on to our next sitting. Thank you all for being here. Again, if you can just fluff your pillow and dust off your zabuton, that would be great. Again, I like sitting in the morning with the energy that is created here. And Michael, I got the smile of a men's group. What a men's group, huh? This is a men's group tonight. This is what a men's group in Tony's world is a highlight without a lot of talking. And there's something special in connecting with the masculine in stillness and silence. It's really special. So just kind of smile inside and in my heart. So thank you for being here. It's a perfect night for the masculine to sit together and be together. So, all right. And then happy Thanksgiving too. And then next Tuesday we'll be meeting again. So I look forward to it. All right. Let's